In a peaceful village nestled amidst hills lived a wise old man named Thomas. Thomas had a son named David. The village was a place where life moved at a slower pace. The people were simple and hard-working. David was a young man with a good heart, but was often distracted. He spent his days wandering about, lost in his thoughts. He would often daydream under the shade of the banyan tree. David was a dreamer, but he lacked direction. Thomas worried about his son. He wished for David to understand the importance of time. He knew that time, once passed, could never be regained. David had no sense of urgency. He would often make promises he couldn't keep. He would promise to help his mother with chores but forget all about it. He would be late for appointments. The villagers would often shake their heads and say, "That David, he lives in a world of his own." They knew that he meant well, but his lack of punctuality was frustrating. David's days were long and uneventful. He felt like a ship without a sail, drifting aimlessly in the vast ocean of time. He yearned for purpose, but he didn't know where to find it. One day, Thomas decided to teach his son a valuable lesson. He called David to him. "My son," he said, placing a beautifully crafted pocket watch in David's hand. The watch was old but well maintained. It had a silver casing that shone brightly in the sunlight. The hands of the clock were delicate, like the whiskers of a butterfly. "I want you to find out how much this watch is worth," Thomas instructed. David was puzzled. He didn't understand what his father was trying to do. Section 4. The Quest for the Clock's Worth. David went to the village marketplace, watch in hand. He approached a farmer. "Excuse me, sir," he asked. "Could you tell me the worth of this watch?" The farmer examined the watch closely. It looked sturdy. It could be worth a few silver coins. David thanked him and moved on. He asked a cloth merchant the same question. "This watch looks quite ancient," the merchant remarked. "A collector might pay a gold coin for it." David was more confused than before. Everyone seemed to have a different price for the watch. Section 5. The Value of a Moment. Discouraged, David returned home. He told his father about his experiences. Thomas listened patiently. "My son," he said gently, "the real value of this watch cannot be measured in coins." He continued, "The watch itself is just an object. Its true worth lies in its ability to measure time." David looked at the watch with new eyes. "Go back to the marketplace, my son," Thomas said. "This time don't ask for its price, ask what time it is. Observe their reactions carefully." David, intrigued, set off once more. Section 6. Time's Priceless Lesson. David approached an old shopkeeper. "Excuse me, sir," he asked. "Could you tell me what time it is?" The shopkeeper's eyes widened. "Time!" he exclaimed. "Time is precious. It waits for no one. Every second that ticks by is a moment lost forever." David was taken aback by the shopkeeper's passionate response. He realized that time was not just about numbers on a clock face. It was about moments that made up a life. David finally understood his father's lesson. Time was indeed priceless.